Hello and welcome to the PublishU podcast, where we explore real life stories of authors from around the world. Today we are talking to Nicola Rucci, all the way from Brisbane, Australia, who has written a book called Invisible Scars. Nikki, it's great to see you.
Thank you. So good to be here today.
So we
And
met
it's
in the U.
exciting.
This is really exciting. So we met in the UK. Now you're in Australia. Where were you born?
I was born in Australia, but
Oh,
I
you
was
were-
born right at the top of the tip of Queensland, on an island called Thursday Island.
you were born on an island.
Yep.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
Was it was it a big island, tiny island?
No, a small island, probably around 2,000 people. But
Wow.
yeah, that's in my book.
Is it in your book? Well, we're going to come on to your book, funnily enough. So Nikki, we've been friends for years, and it's
Yeah.
great. You and Gary are just such amazing people, and it's been great to be your book coach. But for those that are meeting for the first time today, what are the really important things about you when you meet somebody for the first time nowadays? What do you say? So, Nikki, who are you? What do you say?
Yeah, so I usually say hi. Eye contact is always the most important for me.
Yeah.
I love to eye contact people and just say hi. I'm Nicola or Nikki. I get called Nikki all the time, and then start to share about myself or I ask the question. I say, and what do you do or where are you from? And they are the important questions that I tend to ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what do you tell people when they say, "Hey, Nikki, what do you do? What's life about for you?"
Okay, so I will say I'm married to a wonderful man
He
of
is?
37 years,
Wow.
and I have three adult children. I have a grandbaby. I've just become a grandma, so I'm so
Woo!
excited. And she's adorable. And I also say that I do work for the church, and I do a lot of that kind of thing, counselling and whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
amazing. And Nikki, you've now become a globally published author. I mean, it's amazing, isn't it? But going back, when did you first think I've got a book and I should write a book? When did the story begin?
Okay, so it would have been about 20 years ago. I had a few of my close friends say to me, Nikki, you need to write your story. You need to put it in a book and get it out there. And I remember saying this because I was in my late 30s, early 40s, saying, nah, no one's going to want to read my book. Who's going to want to listen to my story? And also, I said, I'll think about that later. At that time, I was too busy. So they were the people that actually started this book writing idea in me. And I remember going away thinking, oh, you know what? I actually should start writing parts of my story down because you never know. One day I might actually write the book.
Yeah.
And I started doing that. And so I did have a little bit written down, but I stopped. And the reason why I stopped was because I didn't know how to start.
Okay. You
And I
mean you
thought,
didn't
well,
know how
how do
to,
I start this?
yeah, you didn't know
Yeah,
how to start the book itself.
that's right. Yes.
So you did the Publish You Writing My Book program. How did this
Yes.
help you?
It's incredible how it came about, Matt, because we've known you for a long time, but I didn't know that you were doing the Writing My Book course and Publish You. And so Gary spotted it. And the tipping point for me to actually start writing my book was that my father passed away 2 years ago. And right up until that point, Gary, my husband and my daughter in particular would say, Mum, you need to put your story down. And I used to say, no, my dad is still alive and he's very ill, and I don't think I will have the emotional capacity to write my book. Well, he passed away 2 years ago. And then out of the blue, Gary finds your Writing My Book course online and he goes, get in touch with Matt and get your book done. And that's when I messaged you through Messenger and I said, hi, I've been kicked in the butt here to get my book done. And I think one of my, I suppose, my doubts was that I'm dyslexic.
Yeah, like me.
And and exactly right. And so when I read that on your page, on your web page about you being dyslexic, I actually started to think, oh man, Matt's written how many books? 18 or 19 books. I could do this. It actually gave me the confidence to write my story.
Beautiful, beautiful. And so, Nikki, let's come to the book. It's called Invisible Scars.
Yes.
I mean, in a nutshell, what is Invisible Scars about?
Invisible Scars is about my childhood abuse and trauma. And I take people right back to where it began, and how it all come about. So, and it is about my restoration from the trauma that I went through,
Wow.
and sexual abuse, living with an alcoholic father, and my mother trying to find love in all the wrong places. So that is the essence of my book.
Gosh. And that's
how
why
it
it
all
was
came about.
hard for you to start the book whilst your father was still alive.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's
It must
right.
have been incredibly painful, was it, to recall these experiences in early life and write them down? How painful was that? How did you deal with it?
Yeah, I cried a lot, actually.
As you wrote?
As I wrote, yes. So I cried all the way through writing my book. Um, and actually, it was very therapeutic too.
Yeah.
So, because, and as I started writing, I actually got more of the picture in my mind as to what happened. And I remember having to call my mum a couple of times, making sure I got the story right. But yeah, I did. I was very emotional, and getting those words down, and then rereading those words and thinking, oh, I hope this makes sense, because I was crying a lot of the time as I was typing my book. Yeah.
Gosh. And you said it was therapeutic. I often say that one of the reasons for writing a book is like journaling. You know, I mean, it's a big journal. It helps you process your feelings and thoughts around experiences you've had, you know, journaling in the day or the week, but a book, you know, sometimes through life. So,
Yes.
I mean, you've been through a process of restoration anyway, but did completing the book for you, did it bring more closure and more, um, I don't know what the right word to use is. Did you feel like it made you more whole?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. There were things that I was writing and things that I was remembering that I thought I had actually come through them. And as I was writing, I am typing my story. I'm going, oh my goodness, I actually still do that. and I'm a fairly vulnerable type of person. So I thought, no, this is good for me. I need to see what I'm writing, because I know it's going to help me again. And yeah, I do believe that my book has closed and completely restored me.
Wow.
Completely. Yeah.
So,
I've been
so
so happy ever since.
so we don't know if anybody's going to buy the book. Of course, they're going to buy the book, but actually, even just writing the book to bring complete closure for you
Yeah.
is quite an incredible thing. So
Absolutely.
Nikki, you know, we're looking forward to reading the book now it's been published.
Yeah.
You know, what can people expect? Is it just a sad book? Is it going to make us feel? How's it going to make us feel inside when we read your story?
Yeah. You will cry. I've already been told that by a couple of people who I gave my manuscript to go through it. And they said that is the story part of my book is very sad. But then we get to the second part of my book, where we talk about how we can break through, how we can walk through all those trauma stages of our life and come through the other end. And I believe my book is, yes, it is a tool, and it has keys and principles to learn by, but it also gives a lot of hope that there is hope that you can walk through this. There is hope that you can break through and become an incredible, happy person, because a lot of people I speak to going through trauma are not happy. They're not happy. They're frustrated. They get angry. They get angry at themselves. They get angry at other people, but they get frustrated, and the frustration that is pent up inside because they haven't had anyone tell them that, hey, it's okay.
Yeah.
There is hope that you can get through this.
Wow. So whilst it's a sad story, it's a story that carries hope for others. So if you're somebody listening to this broadcast and you have sadness of whatever sort in your life and you want hope, Invisible Scars is a book to read.
Absolutely. Yes.
And what is your highest hope for this book, Nikki? What is your highest hope for the people that will read it?
I hope that, first of all, there are a couple of things, actually. That the first one is that people who read my book will realize that even though they are feeling really messed up inside, that they can walk through and that they can become a better version of themselves. The second one is that they can start their healing journey, because sometimes when we're going through a traumatic experience, we want to close off, we want to isolate ourselves, we don't want anyone around us, we don't want to talk to anybody, we just want to be by ourselves. And one of the key principles I talk about in my book is vulnerability is the doorway to your healing. And just finding that few people to talk to and just allow yourself to let it all out. So, yeah.
Wow. Nikki, it's amazing. I'm so pleased that I've been able to work with you and coach you through the writing. So pleased that PublishU has published your book, and now we're focused on launching it to the world. And it's a book, actually, that is all about hope.
Yes.
All people.
Absolutely.
And I'm so pleased you've done this, Nikki. Thank you for being brave, because your bravery is going to help so many other people. So thank you for joining us today. And thank you all for listening to the PublishU podcast, featuring the stories of real life authors from around the world. If you're interested in becoming an author too, please visit www.publishu.com, PublishU.com. And if you like this broadcast, make sure you subscribe for more. Goodbye for now.
See ya.